Greetings, pilots, aviators, and aviation fans. This is Mike, the Chili Dog pilot. Welcome aboard the Tomahawk. We are currently flying from Pennsylvania to Maryland. For those of you who are not familiar with this practice, there's a practice within the aviation community referred to as the $100 hamburger flight. Essentially, that is just grabbing your airplane, flying to a local airport, and having a meal there, typically at a airport restaurant. And I think the term just came from the fact that it would probably cost you about $100 to get to and from your location to the restaurant site. It's a great way to build some flying time, visit new airports. Well, the Aviation Council of Maryland has introduced a take on that, and that is referred to as the Explore Maryland by Air program. And what it's encouraging pilots to do is to visit all of the 34 public use airports in Maryland, as well as attend 4 fast safety seminars and visit 4 of the aviation museums. And for this participation, they have award levels based on the number and combination of airports, museums, and seminars that you attend. And they provide gifts ranging from baseball hats, socks, to a Hawaiian shirt. The way you get to this program, I'll put a link up on this website, is you enroll. They will send you a passport. And then as you visit each of these airports, you get your passport stamped. And then once you get to that period of where you feel like you've accomplished enough of this activity, you can then send it in for your reward. I encourage you to do it. I think it just gives you a reason to fly and explore different places in Maryland, and it gives those airports and those locations, just a little bit of business to keep aviation going throughout. Today is middle of June. It was a hot day, so I did have a lot of camera issues. I think that's becoming a trend for me in the summer months. But anyway, what I was able to do was hit 5 of the airports in Maryland. Unfortunately, the video just didn't work out where I missed out on 2 of the airports. But what I'm going to share with you is my landings at 3 of the airports, and I'll talk about each of those as we progress. So anyways, welcome aboard. I appreciate you flying with me, and hope you enjoy the flights. So here's a quick overview of the trip. We started at Doylestown, headed south to Maryland, with our first stop being at Claremont County Airport, which is identifier 58 Mike. From Claremont County Airport, we then flew over to Harford County Airport. We did have to maneuver for some traffic, and unfortunately I don't have any film of this landing. Following Harford County, we went on to Martin State Airport, which is right outside of Baltimore, and this was the second airport that did not have any film. So as we proceeded south to the Easton Noonan Airport, I was able to pick up the landing there, as well as an interesting site that was on the ground by the FBO. And then closing out our day, we went to Bay Bridge Airport, which is right on the eastern side of the Chesapeake Bay. Following Bay Bridge Airport, we took an IFR flight back to Doylestown. We picked up some interesting weather, and I have that captured at the end of our flight. So let's go back to the Tomahawk and watch our approach into Claremont.
Okay, so we're making our way to Claremont Airport. We're going to overfly the airport at midfield and then make a turn to enter the downwind on the 45 entry. There's a lot of traffic on the frequency because we're picking up a lot of CTAF frequencies in addition to Claremont. So I'm going to make the call as best I can, and we'll deal with the traffic that we're hearing as well.
Good in Ridgely, free fall 1, base to final runway 30, good in Ridgely.
And Claremont traffic, Tomahawk is 5 miles northeast. We'll be crossing midfield at 2000 and then re-enter for the downwind 31, Claremont.
Lakewood traffic, 117, better in tow in the left downwind, better up parallel 24 Lakewood.
Okay, since there's no traffic in the pattern at the moment, we're just going to go right into the downwind. So I'm going to cross here at 1600, and then we will enter the downwind. And Claremont traffic, Tomahawk is crossing midfield, 1500. We'll be entering the left downwind for 31, Claremont.
493 WCS is crosswind for runway 28, setting up for downwind 24. Harbor traffic, 51 kilo, downwind 19 Hartford.
Claremont traffic, Tomahawk is midfield, left downwind for runway 31, Claremont.
Powder activity in the vicinity of 2 minutes of the clock. Running traffic, Warrior 493 WCS is downwind for runway 28. Upper traffic, Sabri is setting up for, we're due north of the field, setting up for 45 left downwind, runway 19er at Hartford. Active traffic system 6548 is about 5 miles to the west of the field. Any traffic on your 293 Lima Alpha is about a mile and a half entering the left downwind runway 8, South Jersey.
Claremont traffic, Tomahawk's on left base runway 31, Claremont. And Claremont traffic, Tomahawk's turning final, runway 31, Claremont.
Harbor traffic, Suncatcher 51 kilo, base 19 Hartford. Traffic, Warrior 493 WCS is base for runway 28, turn. Nice job.
So as I mentioned earlier, we lost a couple of the flights due to the weather. In addition to that, I also lost the in-cockpit audio. So we are picking up, after skipping the videos for both Hartford County and Martin State, to our approach to landing at Easton Noonan Airport. We are currently given vectors to enter the right downwind pattern for runway 22. So we're picking up now as I'm entering that downwind pattern. So here's a nice little surprise that's parked right next to the FBO at Easton Noonan Airport. It's a Lockheed F-104 Starfighter. The day was getting long and weather was moving in, so I didn't take the time to find out the history behind the fighter that is there at Noonan So that's something I'm going to have to do in the future. But here's one last look as I get ready to take off from Easton to make my way over to Bay Bridge Airport. It's a rather quick flight from Easton over to Bay Bridge. It takes you right to the Chesapeake Bay and right on the border of the ADIZ for the Washington, D.C. area. But as long as you stick to the east side of the Chesapeake, you can make your way down to the downwind to enter the final for runway 29 at Bay Bridge. So my original plan was to hit a few more Maryland airports to get more entries into my logbook. However, as I was watching the weather, I was starting to see a line of convective activity starting to pick up and was going to threaten my ability to get back home. So rather than move on and press my luck, I picked up fuel at Bay Bridge and filed IFR back to Doylestown. Even with that early decision to head back home, I did go through a couple build-up areas, and as you see here out the nose, there were several areas with very intense rainfall, including a nice band of storms that were approaching Doylestown on my return. So all in all, it was a good day. I got a chance to see a lot of new airports in Maryland and get a few entries stamped in the passport. And I will continue to record my future trips down to Maryland as I continue to fill out my passport through this Explorer Maryland by Air program. As always, I appreciate you joining me on my flights. As I often request, please go ahead and like this video. Please hit subscribe so that way I can see how many people are watching these videos. And more importantly, please leave me some feedback, whether there's certain elements that you like or want to see more of. I'll respond to that feedback and continue to adapt the videos I post accordingly. So with that being said, enjoy this landing into Doylestown, and I hope you have a great day.